and they're in Canada now, and they're all good. And two brothers were left, my father and his sister. And we are four brothers, and from the four of us, me and my sister are living in the kibbutz. My sister, not sure of the correct term now, have two kids, or just one is found dead in the casualty of the October 7th, and the other one is perhaps kidnapped. We're not sure. And I have three kids, and my kids are very small. I'm the youngest sister in the house, so my kids are the smallest. My oldest one is 5.5. She's a girl. And the second one is a boy. He's 4. He just celebrated his 4th birthday 2 weeks ago here in this hotel. And my youngest one is an infant. He's 1.5, a year and a half, just almost a baby. And I met my husband during our military service in the IDF. And we were serving at the same base in Kerem Shalom, near Gaza.
Doing laundry together?
No, no. I was an operator in the war room, and he was an officer, and he was responsible of the vehicles and like a mechanic of vehicles and also of guns and like everything that should be function like perfectly. This was his job.
Was it love at first sight for you too, like your grandparents?
Not at first sight, but I think we were developing some friendship, and I fell in love with his kindness. He was like the kindest person ever. I think that one Shabbat we stayed in the base, and it was really irregular that I left alone in the war room, and this is a place where you could not live alone, and I could not live. And it was like lunchtime, and my officer was sleeping, and no one would, and there was no one who could bring me some lunch. And so I called him. He was the officer that was on duty at this moment, and I asked him if he could bring me some lunch. When it's like, would it be possible if it's not too hard? It's like, and he said, of course. It's like, what's the deal? Of course I'll bring you. And he was. Yeah.
My little girl is 2, so
Oh,
right around the same
this is
age.
exactly this age. Exactly this age. This is the next grade above my kid.
Oh, so yours is here too? Is it
Yeah,
a
yeah.
girl or a boy?
Boy.
Boy.
Yeah. No, he's not here. Good, he's not here, because he would have come here and just start crying, but this is not his group. Thank God. And
So lunch.
yeah, and he brought me lunch, and we just sat inside the war room, the Hamal, and just start talking, and there was so many things that we have in common, and just kept on talking and playing basketball every evening, and kept on talking, because it's like the army, we cannot. There's nothing else that you can do. And then
We're all married. We've been there.
yeah, yeah, and it's like, I think the battalion went into training, and I stayed in the base, and one evening we needed something very urgent from him because this was his specialty. We needed something about one of the vehicles, and I called him and I asked him how's it going, how is the training, how is everything, and just kept on going for like a 3 hours call, and just and then it's like, well, so let's meet in the outside world, not in the army, in the base, no uniforms. And then it was really soon, and we understood that it was like forever for us from the beginning. Yeah, it was really, really obvious, but it still took a while until we got married because I finished my service and he was still in the army, and he stayed on for extra time in the army beyond the duty of the 3 years, because he was an officer and he moved around and he kept on signing for another term and another term, and I was going and I went to college. I got my first degree and my second degree, and I told him, let's wait, just I want to finish my school and then let's marry. And this is what happened, and we got married and moved to the kibbutz. And it was very obvious that we're going to live there, because I told him it's like the best place in the world. There's no other place to be. And he loved it also. He loved the kibbutz. He was born at the Golan Heights in Katzrin. And the family originally from the middle of the country, from Nes Ziona. It's like a small town, city. Back then it was like a town, but it grew up. And the family then came back to Nes Ziona when he was like 15, maybe. So he was 1 year of junior high school in the town, and then he moved to a military school for his high school. Yeah, so it was really obvious what is he going to do in the army, and which corps. So it's
What's his
he
name?
made his Noi.
No way.
Noi. Noi in Hebrew is beauty. So, and he was a beautiful person. And on this awful day, early in the morning at 6:30, we heard the red color alert, and we went to the mamad, the safe room, with the kids, of course, and then we, in our phone, there was a message that there's a suspicion for breaching the border, and we should stay inside the safe room. And Noy immediately went outside, took his gun from the safe, and wear his pants so he could put the gun inside, in the back, and then and get back. And I told him, go and bring some food, just give us some breakfast. And I told him exactly what to bring, and he brought everything inside. And so we had some water and some food for the kids, and then just waited. And my WhatsApp group of mothers from all around the kibbutz started to just messaging like crazy. From like 7:15 and all day long, thousands of messages. There are some terrorists in my house, in my porch. They are here, they're shooting, trying to entering the house, knocking on doors, knocking on windows, and trying to entering the safe room, and letting us know that we need to hold the handle of the door, because the door of the mamad is not locked from the inside. And so everything was communicating all around, and above all, where is the military, where is the army, where is someone who needs to help us. And it was like that for several hours. And also I had in my phone an ability to send some messages to all the kibbutz in our special app. And so I sent some messages about people who were connecting me who were not in the WhatsApp group and did not know anything that was going on, but they needed someone to know that something is happening to them. So they were connecting me, so I would send some messages for them. And one of my husband employees in the kibbutz car shop, my husband was the manager. So one of his employers was sending us messages to let us know and to sending some help that they have some terrorists in their house and they're trying to open their safe room, and that he used his gun and trying to shoot them, but he's afraid that something else will happen. And a few messages later, they did not answer us and they did not receive the message. And we later found out that he was found dead, murdered, and his wife probably kidnapped, because we do not know anything about her. And to our place, first, I think maybe it was like 10:30 or 11 in the morning, arrived the first group of terrorists, but it was not gunmen. It was looters. They're trying to find out to take some things from the house. We heard a lot of noise, and they tried to touch the handle of the safe room just a little bit, like maybe a few minutes, not for long. It was scary, and we told the kids to be quiet and to stay in like a safer place inside, so when the door is open, no one would see them. And then they left. And Noé decided that he wanted to check out and see what is going on in the house. So he took his gun. He just was going to check out things. And he told me that the door is open, and they took the car keys, and the car doors are opened, but the car is still there. They could not They could not turn on. Yeah, thank you. They could not turn on the car, and they did not took it. It's not a regular car. It's a Jeep, and we use it just for trips in the mountains and stuff. So, like very very organized one with all the supplements and all. I'm married to a mechanic.
Yeah,
it's like
we expected that type of car. Yes.
Air compressor for the tires, and water tank, and everything that you can imagine we have on this car. So everything, and of course a rescuing kit for the cars and for anything else. And so the car was still there, and he told me that they went through the wallets, and just everything is on the floor, and the safe in the room is been breached, and everything was taken from there, and there are some passports all around, and they took the money, and also the kids piggy bank. Yeah, it was on the fridge. Yeah, so they just smashed it and took what was in there, and he said, okay, no big deal. Everything that they took, we'll tell the authorities, and it will be brought back somehow. Never mind. And I told him, bring some more water in. It's like, leave the house alone, and just we need to worry about us. And then we got a message that the special forces are inside the kibbutz. And because of our joint military experience, I told him, it's nice that they're here, but it's gonna get worse before it's gonna get better. So we still have time here. So let's bring us something to eat, it's like something for lunch, and some more water, and just get in and stay in. Get out all the time. And this time he listened. And he brought the kids some food that we have in the fridge, and so they had lunch and they were fine, and just kept playing and singing to them, so they would not feel all the pressure, but they knew that something is going on. of course. And eventually I told them that there are some bad people inside the kibbutz and they're trying to get inside to our safe room, and that me and their father are trying to prevent them, and that sometime that they need to help us and stay quiet. And they understood, and they were very cooperative and really behaving like immaculately. And then I think the hours kept on going, and I think in like maybe two, yeah. It was 2 p.m. Another group of terrorists entered the house, and they went straight to the door. No looking around, no just messing around with the house, straight to the door. And Noy held the handle, like very, very strongly, and I think that he held the handle for like 20 minutes or so. And he told me that this time it's really hard. And Noy, he wasn't a small guy, like he was a very big guy, broad shoulders, like, and he was put all his body weight into the handle and told me, I don't know what to do. I think they're gonna open it. And we looked at each other, and he told me, I'm gonna use the gun. And I told him, do what you gotta do. You know, we need you, and you do everything to protect us. And then I heard a gunshot, really strong one, and I was sure that he was the one who fired. But no. I asked him, did you fire the gun? And he told me, no, I got shot. And the mamad door is not bulletproof, apparently. So they shot the mechanism of the lock. And a piece from the mechanism went to him. So he heard from the ricochet, and it was like a big one. So he had like a wound like this big, open in his arm, and bleeding all over. He like held his arm like that, and told me, he yelled, "It's hurt, I don't know what to do," and just starting to fall down to the ground. And while he was falling, he was shot again, this time in the stomach. And while he was falling to the floor, he just tried to block the fall, himself from falling completely. I took the gun from his belt and just yelled, "What do I do with it? How do I shoot? What to do?" And he told me, "It's loaded. Just shoot. So just do what you need." And also he told me that I need a tourniquet, like just that. I'm bleeding really, really bad. And like I had some sheets from like, we were sitting next to the closet. And in the closet, I just a few days ago just organized it and put some sheets from the kids' beds in a drawer. And I opened the drawer and I took the sheets and just put it like next to his arm in not a really good way, but just to do something. And then I held the gun and waited. And I saw the end of a rifle entering the door. I didn't know if the door is open or not, but apparently he just entered from the holes of the door. The door was closed the entire time. This is something that I learned at the end of everything. But the end of a rifle entered, and I saw this like black thing, and I started to shoot the gun. And the rifle shot one bullet and it hurts Noy's legs, his left leg, I think. And then because of my shooting, the rifle just went off. And then they tried to touch the door again, and I fired some more bullets. But then I realized that my bullets are out. I fired everything that I had in the gun. I threw out the gun, just mad at myself that I did not stop and just think what I'm doing. And then I tried to to put the tourniquet on his arm in like a better way to really stop the bleeding, and I quite succeed. The bleeding was almost stopped completely, and I was conscious, and I tried to give him some water, and I asked my daughter to bring me two bottles of water from a place in the mamad. I gave her my hand and like help her to get me the bottles, and I asked my son to bring me some t-shirt from his closet. So, and that was because there was a silence in the room, and then we smelled some smoke, and I realized it from the WhatsApp messages that this was like a method. When they could not enter the safe room, they started to make a fire from the outside to make the smoke in. And when I smelled the smoke, I realized that this is what we should do, because also the messages were telling us, people were telling us to breathe through a wet cloth, or to put some wet towel or sheet in the door, like in front of the door, to make the smoke like stop a bit. And so the kids were helping me to do all those things, and in the meanwhile I sent some voice messages in the WhatsApp group, so everyone in the mothers group will know what is going on with us. I sent like I think 20 messages in about 40 minutes that we were there, until my battery ended. And then I sent some messages in noise phone to some friends of ours that I knew that also have a connection to the WhatsApp group, so they would know what is going on with us and could tell the group and to give us and to give me some information from there. And it took a while, and I think after 40 minutes the smoke was very, very, very black, and the room was almost dark. We had one light from a phone. The power were out for like maybe 2 hours ago, but the noise phone kept on had a light on, but I realized that I could not longer see this light. So everything is really black, and the smoke is really, really heavy. So I told him, he was still conscious, I told him that I need to go and open the window so the kids could breathe. And he told me that go and do that. I mean, of course, go help the kids. And leaving him was, the meaning of it was that I'm leaving also the tourniquet. So I could not hold it and go to the window in the other side of the room to open it. And I tried to open the window. There's a metal window and then the real window. And I opened the metal window, and it makes a lot of noise. So I opened just a half and waited, and I heard some gunshot, and I closed. And I tried again. And then I realized that the gunshots are not directly from the window, because nothing is hitting the window. And it is because the houses are really close to each other, so everything is echoed from all around, so it's not really, you can never really be sure from where the sound is coming. But nothing hits the window, so apparently they're not shooting at the window. So I said, okay, let's open. I opened the entire metal window, and then just opened the blinds a little bit just to see what is going on. And there was no one at my window, but I saw the house in front of me just burned all over. One side of the house, like 2 stories and 4 houses. So one side is completely burned. Like you see only the blocks, like the foundation, and just everything is black. And the other side, there is still a roof. Like you can still see the red roof, but fire is like 2 or 3 meters high above the red roof. So it would be completely burned in a few minutes or hours, I don't know. And I just looked at it for like a few seconds and then just remember that I have something to do here. And I went and just took the kids one by one and put them next to the window. And we have a bed and beneath the window, so they stand on the bed and just could reach the window really easily. And I told my elder one, I told her, you need to look after your brothers. If you see anything in the window, just let them know and tell them to keep the head down, so no one would hit you or shoot you from there. And she told me, okay, mommy, I will do that. And I went back to Noi, and I tried to help him, and I tried to tighten the tourniquets and try to stop the bleeding. And he told me that he's feeling that the tourniquets is not holding. Yes, he was still conscious then, but he had like minutes. But then I heard some gunshots, and I had to go and to protect my kids because it could come from anywhere, and the window's now open. And it was like 15 minutes of gunshots from all over, and my friends were telling me in Noi's phone that there are forces coming to save us. And I held on in this information and held my kids. And eventually I heard some speaking in Hebrew, and it was like tactical language of soldiers. And I told them, and I told the kids, the soldiers are here. They're coming for us. They're going to save us. And Noe was already dead at those moments because he was bleeding too badly and there was nothing to stop his bleeding. And then the soldier was open. One of the soldiers opened the safe room door. Then I only realized that it was closed the entire time. And it was luckily for us because at the point that we stand near the window, it was across from the door. So if anyone, except from the soldiers, were going to the door, there was just we were right there. So and then the soldiers took the kids one by one and put us in our sandals, and I took some water from the kitchen, and the soldiers told me, we have to go now. There's no time for anything. You will have water and you will have food in the next place. And they took us to our neighbor and put us into her safe room. And this was a house, and it was a second-story house, and they just used the house as a place where they could have a good point to shoot everyone and see if any terrorists are coming. And we were in the safe room and they were in the house, so we knew that there's not a possibility for a terrorist to come inside. So it was quite safe, but very, very noisy because it was gunshots from all around, like 20 soldiers in the house, and some really big guns, like some variant sorts of weapons. And we stayed there for like a few hours, maybe 3 or 4. And then they told us, now we're leaving. I heard the tank inside the kibbutz, and it was like surreal, like everything else that was happening. But the tank was like, I think, one of the most surreal things. And I realized that they waited for the tank because if the tank was not there, we could not move from the house. So they needed the tank to mask us, so we could move when the tank was to hide us from the terrorists in the other side. So at every turn that we have, the tank moved with us, so we could escape from the other side. And then they took us to another part of the kibbutz when the soldiers were already had a holding there, and they put us in some armed cars. And this is how we left the gate, because the gate was still at war. They were still shooting at the gate, so they had to put us in these armed cars. And from there, we just went to a field next to the kibbutz, like maybe 500 meters from the kibbutz. And then there they just kept all the people that they took from the kibbutz, and the buses were arriving. And then we entered the bus, and the bus took us to Tel Aviv. But when we started to driving, and in the next kibbutz, the soldiers were stopping, took out from the cars and just started to shoot, because we were encountering another terrorist like along the way. And they told everyone in the bus, just keep your head down. And luckily, none of the wheels were hit, the bus was not hit. And the soldiers told the driver, let's go, we have to move now, and told everyone just to keep the heads down. And we drove like that for another 10 minutes or so, and we got to the nearest town. It was Netivot, and the soldiers told us, you're in Netivot, this is a safe place now, no terrorists are around. This is still a place where the rockets can hit you, but no terrorists around. And we are now leaving you and going back to the kibbutz. And the bus should go to the police station, and from there they will tell you what to do. And we arrived to the police station, and they're looking at us and have no idea what to do with us. Like a bus full of refugees, and like people are screaming and babies are screaming, and like no one knew what to do with us. And just after 40 minutes or so, the driver told us, I'm not leaving you here. We're going to Tel Aviv now. And it was his own initiative, just like taking us away. And we started to go, but the roads were really blocked, and there were also like some police police checkpoint in the places. So it took us like 3 or 4 hours to get from Netivot to Tel Aviv, which is like an hour and a half driving. So it was a very long and really hard drive. And eventually we got to Tel Aviv, and me and my kids, we got into my brother's car and just went to his house. And we arrived there. We were black all over from the smoke, and just my kids were so tired that they just fell asleep like that. And my older brother was also coming to meet us, and I just sat with them and told them as much as I could at the moment, and we were holding each other and crying, and above all, did not know what happened to our parents, did not know what happened to our sister, because there was still no connection with any of them. And all through this night, little by little, they come the messages that this one got out and this one got out. And my parents opened their phone and they told us, now the soldiers are taking us out. And my sisters, in like, I think it was 4 or 5 in the morning, I got a message that my sister is looking for me, because her phones, the batteries had died like hours and hours and hours ago. And then we heard what about her, but we still didn't know what with the kids. So it was a crazy night.
How old are your sister's children?
My sister's children, her daughter, who might be kidnapped, she's 13 years old, 13 and a half now. And her boy, he's the oldest one, but such a cute boy. His name was Lior, and he was 16. He celebrated 16, like a few days after he died. We celebrated really, it was a really sad celebration. And it was a few days after we learned that he died. just now, a few days ago. Yeah.
How are your children?
They're small and they're kids, so they're quite happy at the kindergarten and when they play around and just happy with their friends. But when we're alone, there's question, and my oldest one just kept on going, and telling me what was happened and how the bad people tried to enter the safe room and how her father stopped them and he was saving us and he was keeping us safe. And she told me also about the things that she did and I did, and just keep on going. And always we keep in mind that I told her. And then the good soldiers came to save us and they rescued us. And I also got some calls from those soldiers, and they found me, and they called me, and and they told me how brave we were and how brave the kids were. And I told my girl that the soldier said that she was brave, and she was so happy. Yes, she was brave, and she was so happy to hear it. So I'm like, really, mommy? Really? They said that? And yeah, they did. And then they told me that everything would end. They would come here and give us a big hug because they feel like my family and they were linked forever. And just, yeah.
You were brave.
Thanks. No,
We're so sorry.
yeah.
We're so sorry.
Yeah. I know now that my story is one of the craziest around, because everyone else almost everyone else that had fire inside, like shooting inside the safe room, did not survive to tell it. So we are quite special in this way, but yeah, it was crazy. And there were several moments when I thought that this is the end. Like, we could not, there is no escape from that. It's like the safe room is full of smoke. Is no longer with us, and anyone who would open the door would shoot us. So, like, I was sure this is the end for us. And luckily it was not. And luckily the soldiers were coming, and the soldiers were the one who opened the door, and not the terrorists. But yeah.
I wish I can give you a huge hug, you and your kids, and never ever let you go.
Thank you.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're such an amazing Ima. And such an amazing wife. I'm so sure that Noy is so proud of you and how you saved his girl.
Thank you. Yeah.
Tell me about him. Tell me about how.
Yeah. Well, he was the kindest person ever. He loved to help everyone. Like, his daily job was to help people. Like, he loved to fix the cars and to help them to find the best solution for the problem, and he could not live. And even when it was time to close the shop, no. I still have something to do here. I want that this person will live today with his car fixed, and just. So every day I knew that he was supposed to come home at 5 o'clock, but no, he would be home maybe at 6 because he was still working on some problem that he wanted to fix. And it was okay, because this is what he was. Like, he was this kind of person. The first one to help to every car that was jammed in the road or in our fields, and when there were some balloons sent from Gaza Strip to fire the fields, He was one of the first responders. He came and just tried to put some water on the fire and to help, and of course with a special vehicle for that.
Yeah, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah, near the shop he had like a semi. I'm not sure the term of. It's called a gator. Like it's a car that can go inside the field and and just go around everything and have like a place in the back for like a tank of water and some hoses and of course he had a mask on and just with his black clothes from the shop and just.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah. Those are the kids.
Oh, they're. Oh, look. This one is a little lioness. She's a little
yeah.
lioness.
Yes.
Oh, they're beautiful. What is her name?
This is Noga.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Noga is the light from the moon.
Yeah, Noga.
This is the.
Have a set of pictures.
Yeah, just a second. There's so many of the kids, but.
Oh, you're an Ima.
Yeah.
That's what Imas do.
Yeah. This is Noi. Yeah, this is us in the fields next to the kibbutz. This is
He
the
looks like a guy who could handle a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change a tire.
Yeah, of course.
Pick
Change the
up a
tires.
car,
Yeah.
most
Change the
probably.
tire. It's like the easiest thing. What?
I hire him. That's what I do.
Yeah, this is the peanuts field, and we just went out and saw the tractor take the peanuts out for the first time, and then just turning them over, and then they should lay in the field for a week, and then they take them out for real, and the kids were loving it. And this is our friend. He's a farmer. He was always telling us where the tractors are. So this is my baby, and this is our friend, the farmer. So this is how we knew everything about the fields, and we knew where the tractors are, and when to come with the kids. And he took us in the tractor and just like had a trip. It's like I think it was 2 weeks before this Sabbath. Yeah.
What is? Oh, there's.
Yeah, the kids are in the tractor.
Look at that car, man. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, we had fields all over the place.
Do you want to go back?
I want to go back badly, but I can't go back if this place is not safe. I can't put my kids again in the safe room and just wait. I can't. Like, this is not a possibility for us. So I really hope to go back, but it could only happen if this place would really be safe. And I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Yeah.
All of us in Jerusalem, whenever you come to Jerusalem, you have a few homes in Jerusalem now.
Thank you.
You come to my house with your children, and I'll cook you some South African food.
Your kids like dogs?
Yes and no.
My dog is a saint. So my dog's a saint.
I have 3 and they aren't.
It's great.
These little sausage dogs.
Little ones are the craziest one.
Kids.
We will
But
pray
not me.
for you.
No.
We will pray for you.
Thank you.
On that Saturday when you were in London,
Yeah.
we had thousands of people praying for you.